Hello my yogi friends and welcome to Yoga with Anne Forget. I am Anne and today we are moving through a nice juicy hip stretch sequence. You will need a block and maybe a blanket, so quickly go and grab your yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, you can use any kind of big book, that's fine as well, as long as it's nice and solid. And then join me back on your mat. So we will start today in Sukhasana in our easy pose. So for some people that's not that easy. So I will definitely use a blanket here. So chances are you chose this video because something is maybe a little bit touchy in your hips, they're a bit tight. Feel free to sit on as many props as you like then. You can even double up on the blanket, or you can sit on your yoga block and the blanket, or on a couple of cushions. So whatever elevates the hips higher than the knees. Once we're here, take a big breath. And we're going to bring the palms together in front of the heart. And give them a little bit of pressure. So a bit of engagement here in the arms. Relax the shoulders down. And then feel free to soften the gaze slightly in front of you. Or close your eyes. So taking the first moment here to really settle on our mat. So thank you so much, first of all, for joining me here for this sequence. And then also take a moment to appreciate the effort that you already made, carving out this time to really use this next couple of minutes here basically to just nurture your body, nurture your mind, reconnect with your breath and your hips. So start already to breathe slightly deeper. So lengthen the inhalation and the exhalation. See what's happening in your spine. Can you sit nice and tall, as if someone is pulling you up on a string at the crown of the head, and relax the shoulders away and down. Already start to try to soften through the hips. The legs, maybe give the toes a little wiggle. We still have this little bit of pressure here between our palms, so palms slightly pressing into each other. So it's really important here to maintain the softening through the shoulders. Just keep breathing, and then maybe set a little intention for this class to come. So maybe it's something very personal, concerning maybe an emotional matter, an emotional issue as well. So often our hips are really connected with our emotions, so your soreness in your hips might be connected with something that's basically more a mental or an emotional matter. So you might want to set an intention around something that concerns you at the moment. Or maybe you just go the other way and just want to release all those thoughts and completely let go of anything doing this practice. So whatever you choose here, take one more big breath. And big exhale. Maybe even out through the mouth. And then release the fingertips. And we're going to take a big inhale here, reach the fingertips up and above the head. So big stretch. You reach the fingertips up and you can start to blink, open the eyes if you like. And exhale, relax the fingertips down. And we're going to bring them onto the knees and really wrap them around the knees. So there's a little bit of leverage here. Relax the shoulders down, and we start with our seated kind of cat-cow posture or steer the pot. So on an inhale, we start to rotate forward. Can go one side or the other, doesn't really matter here. And exhale, we're going to rotate over to the other side and lean back. So really leaning here into your hands, holding onto the knees. So big stretch for the back. of the body. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, moving back. So doing this whole thing here, you want to stay super, super heavy through the hips. It's already a little bit of a warm-up for the hips as well. Make sure you maintain some softness in your neck and shoulders. So you can even find a movement here with your head as well. So when you lean back, you can tuck the chin a bit further towards the chest. When you lean forward, maybe if it's okay for the neck, slightly look up. So be a bit creative here, really natural movement. And it doesn't have to be as big as mine. So if your hips are super, super tight, you might just move a little bit. It's really up to you. Let's change the direction. So whichever way you move, just reverse the circle. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, leaning back. Really feeling this awesome warming up of the spine. Let's do 2 more circles here. Maybe the biggest ones you've taken so far. Really enjoying this awesome stretch as well around the shoulder blades. And then we slowly find our way back forward. Coming back up straight into the center. Take it inhale, reach the fingertips up. Reach them up. And exhale, twisting over to the right. So right hand comes behind. Left hand can find its way onto the knee or the thigh. Lengthen through the spine, but relax the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe a little gaze over the right shoulder here. Big stretch here for the left side of the neck. And gazing back forward. Slowly rotating the chest back. One more inhale. Exhale, over to the other side, over to the left. Making sure you stay super, super long through the spine so we're not collapsing at all. Gazing over the left shoulder here. Take one more big inhale into the chest. And gaze comes back forward. We're going to release the shoulders back forward. And we're just going to switch the cross of the legs here. So whichever side was forward, bring it behind the other foot now. And this might already feel a little bit weird because we have the tendency to sit, as the posture says, in our easy pose first. So for me, my right hip is a little bit dodgy, so I prefer to have the right foot a bit further in because it makes it more accessible for me. You can see if I bring the right foot forward, there's a little bit of a lift in the knee, but that's fine. That's what we're going to work on here today. So fingertips come by your side, lengthen through the spine, inhale, side stretch over to the left. Big, big stretches, stay super heavy through the right hip. Little opening through the chest. And then we keep it flowing here, taking an exhale to walk the fingertips along the front. And again, if your hips are super tight, you might just be here, moving your fingertips over to the other side. That's completely fine. So walking the fingertips along the front. Inhale, reaching the left fingertips up, open through the chest. Maybe a little smile. Exhale, walking the fingertip along. Super nice stretch here for the back of the body as well. Inhale to reach. And just keep it moving. You're really connecting your pace of breath with the movement. So I don't want you to be out of breath because you're walking maybe a little bit too slow. So if you feel too quick, it up then. But maybe you can slow down the breath a little bit as well. Let's do one more each side here. Exhale to walk. Inhale to reach. And then coming back into the center. Wiggle the shoulders, wiggle the shirt. Bring the feet forward. And just give them a couple of nice windshield wipers here. Should feel awesome after all this cross-legged sitting. Getting some blood back into the feet, into the calves. A little massage here for the buttocks. Nice little wriggling out for the hips. Beautiful. Making sure still broad through the chest. See, I started to collapse now here into my shoulders. Broad through the chest, claw through the fingertips. And then coming back. And we're gonna bring our body into a tabletop position. So wiggle the legs around, move your little blanket away, hands underneath the shoulders, knees right underneath the hips, slightly pressing into the tops of the feet here, the gaze is down, and we're going to be super broad here through the upper back body. So we often start to hang down here in our shoulders. We really want to have this hollowing of the front of the body towards the back of the body. So super broad, super normal neck. And then we're going to bring the weight into the right knee or into the right leg and start to lift the left knee off the ground. You might already feel a switching on of the core. So that's what we're going to work on here. But at the same time, we're going to bring some movement into the hips, of course, and work on our glutes. Because we're going to start some really nice circles here with the left knee. Our little fire hydrant posture. Imagining a little dog trying to pee on a fire hydrant. That's a little bit what it looks like. But it's really, really awesome little workout here for the glutes and the core. So just keep circling here your left knee. See what's happening? Are you collapsing into the right palm? And can you really level the weight in both palms, but at the same time pressing away from the mat? Still the engagement in the core, and we're going to reverse the circle here. And the circle can be quite small, or you can make it like really generous, so that's up to you. Really depends on your mobility basically in your hip. So let's do 2 more on this side. And then we're gonna bring the left knee down, start to lift the right leg, and start our circles here. So once again, try not to collapse into the left palm, but also try not to dump into the left hip. We often tend to really jump over to the left here, but we want to find this big engagement here out of the left hip. So really working on our glutes, on our thighs in both legs. So 1 more into this direction, and then reversing the circle. And like I said before, can be as small or as big as you like it to be. Keep breathing. It's completely fine if you're shaking. I'm shaking too. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Whew. Bring the right knee down. Walk the fingertips forward. Rotate the elbow creases forward. Tuck the toes under, and we start to slowly with bent knees lift the hips. Give the hips a big wiggle here from left to right. Awesome stretch here for the hips. Maybe give the head a little shake as well. Softening through the shoulders, pressing into the palms. Super wiggly down dog here. And coming to a stop, and we start to lift the right foot off the ground. So big stretch, and then bring the gaze forward, and big step here with the right foot forward, lowering down onto the left knee. Coming into a low lunge. Always the option to pop something underneath the left knee here to make it a bit nicer, a bit more comfy. And then find some opening here through the chest first. So we're often just collapsing forward. See if you can really wrap the shoulders back and down, open through the chest. Relaxing down into the left hip. And then runner's lunge here. bringing the hips back, stretching the hamstrings. You can walk your fingertips further towards yourself here. Or you can leave them further forward, really depending on the stretchiness in your hamstrings. Keep breathing into the back of the leg. Keep lengthening through the back of the neck. Relax the shoulders down. One more big breath here into the back side of the leg. And exhale, fingertips walk back forward. And we're going to bring them on the inside of the right foot. Wiggle the right foot further out to the side, coming into our lizard variation. And you can point the toes a bit further out to the side if you like. This is where you might need your block. So if this is super far away, so if the earth is really far away from your hands, you can even come up onto the knee, or you can come onto your block or onto your palms, or if you're super flexible in your hips, you can even come onto the forearms. So your choice here. Wherever you are, keep breathing, feeling into those beautiful sensations in the outside of the right hip, the inside of the right thigh, the front of the left hip. Wiggle the shoulders, give the jaw a little wiggle here as well, making sure everything is nice and soft. Releasing tension in the hips. One more big breath. And then we slowly snuggle the foot back into the center and step back into downward facing dog. The hips a little wiggle as well. And lifting the left foot, stepping the left foot forward. Low lunge on this side, so take your time to get here. Sometimes we just need a couple of little steps to bring the foot forward. That's absolutely fine. You can always leave the extended leg tucked under or untucked. It's up to you. I always feel it's a bit more comfortable if I have my toes still tucked under, but some people find it better when it's untucked. Your choice. Then open up through the chest. Maybe even hover for a moment here. Relax the shoulders back and together, long through the back of the neck. And then we stretch the hips back. Big stretch here for our hamstrings. Trying to stay super long through the lower back as well, so we're not absolutely rounding here. The spine is still very nice and long. Chest is still broad. The corners of the mouth are still lifted. Keep breathing. And then slowly we walk the fingertips back forward. Wiggle the foot out to the side. Bring the left hand on the inside. Finding our way into our lizard on this side. So again, toes can turn out to the left a little bit. And choose any variation here. You can come back up onto your thigh, or you can come onto your block, or this is a little bit too intense for your wrists as well. You can come into little fists, bringing the fists on the ground. So your choice here. So really want to make sure we can focus onto the hips and don't get too distracted by what kind of variation we do here with our arms. Shake the head, making sure the neck is soft. Wiggle the shoulders. Wiggle the jaw. And then keep sinking a bit deeper here through the hips. Big stretch. This is one of those postures here where you can really envision releasing any kind of tension you're holding. Physical tension in your hips, but also any kind of emotional tension, mental tension. Just let it all go. Big exhalations here. And then slowly snuggle your foot back into the center, stepping back into downward facing dog. Give the legs a big wiggle. And then start to walk the feet forward into Uttanasana. Bend your knees, relax the head down, relax the shoulders. And then inhale, halfway lift, coming a little table, hands on your chins, kneecaps or thighs, and bend your knees once again. You fold forward just to rise up into standing posture. Take your time, a big inhale, rolling up one vertebra at a time. Relax the shoulders, back and down. And this is where we're gonna lead our little block. So quickly get your block. Like I said, if you don't have a block, feel free to use a really solid book you've got, so nothing that wiggles around with the pages when you step on it, because we're going to bring our weight onto the block. Let's do it this way so you can see me better. So I'm going to bring my right foot onto the block. That's why I said really solid book, or something that's just a little bit elevated. You could probably even step on your blanket. We just want to have this little bit of extra space here so we can slightly move our left leg. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to start swinging the left leg and see what's happening here in your right leg. So we want to maintain a bend in the right knee, and we want to make sure we're not dumping over to the right side with our hip. So really nice and long line here from the ankle into the knee, into the hip. And then just be super, super soft here in your hip. Such an awesome feeling just to release, because it can just hang there free and swing back and forth, and use your arms as well. Once you found your balance here, you can focus on a drishti point in front of you, on the floor or on the wall behind you, wherever. Maybe don't look at the video at the moment, might distract your balance here. Just keep swinging. See if you can become super soft through the shoulders and the hips, or the one hip. And it's completely fine to already feel a bit of engagement here in both legs. We're working hard, but we're also swinging and loosening. Give yourself a little smile, imagining you're just jumping through your favorite park at the moment in the sunshine. Do one or two more big swings here, and then we're going to stop in the back. Ooh. Hands on your hips, leg stops behind. We start to do our little circuit here with the left foot, waking up our glutes once again. I hope you can feel them. And then reversing the circle. And then again, it doesn't have to be a big circle, it can be quite small, but we really want to have the leg behind ourselves. So we're working on our buttocks here, basically. Make sure you're not wobbling too much. And then we slowly release, give everything a big shake, and do the other side. So stepping onto the block with the left foot, making sure we have the little bend in the left knee, pressing out of the left hip, super long here through the left leg, and start swinging with your right foot. Really super soft through the right hip. And then once you find your balance, if you found it yet, start to integrate your arms as well. Really softening through the shoulders, softening through the hip. And you might realize one leg was a little bit easier than the other. Obviously my right leg is my strong leg here. I'm a little bit wobbly on this side. So that's fine, just noticing. Our bodies are a little bit dodgy, so whatever. So just keep swinging a little bit longer. Keep smiling. You're jumping through the park. One more big breath here. Feel your left leg wobbling, that's normal. And then we stop behind and start our circles here with the right foot. Make sure you're not dumping into the lower back. Maybe tuck the tailbone under a little bit if you're someone who's quite prone to always get this little bit of a duck tail here. And reversing the circle. Getting distracted here with childhood memories. Keep breathing. You can do this. Super, super strong legs. And we release. Give everything a big shake here. Big wobble with the shoulders, with the neck. And we're gonna just move the block out to the side, coming into another little nice hip stretch, of course. So again, bringing the weight into the right leg. And then a couple of options here. So we want to come into standing pigeon. If you know that's not going to happen in your left hip, alternative is to come into any kind of tree variation. So either with your left ankle on your, with your left heel on the right ankle, if you feel a little bit unstable today after all this wobbling. Or you can bring the left foot on the calf, or you can bring the left foot on the left inner thigh. So that's your option if you know that your hip is a little bit too tight for the standing pigeon. Maybe even using the left hand here to slightly press the left thigh further back to get this bigger opening through the hip. If you know you're right, you can cross the left foot over the right thigh. Coming into standing pigeon, we're going to start to bend through the right knee. You can bring your hands in front of your heart. So stretching through the left hip here, but also working on our right leg. Beautiful posture. Hopefully you don't have tights on that are too slippery here. Mine are a little bit, but that's okay. We just have to work a little bit harder. So you can stay here, or if you want to go a little bit crazy today, we can start folding forward. So bending further through the right leg, and then maybe bringing our fingertips towards the ground, relaxing the head forward. Super, super deep stretch here for the left hip. Keep breathing here. You're doing awesome wherever you are, if you're in your tree, in your standing pigeon, or in your forward fold. One more breath. And if you fold it forward, you might want to slowly come back up. Bring the hands back up. And wherever we are, we're going to slowly release the left leg. Take a big stretch with the fingertips up and over. Spread the fingertips here. Relax them down. Give the hips a little shake. And the weight comes into the left leg. Again, your option here. Either any of the tree variations, or crossing the right foot over. Bend in your left knee, really clawing through all the four corners here in your left foot. So super, super connected with your left foot to the ground. Hands come together in front of the heart, open through the chest, and maybe we're just sinking a little bit deeper, and see if you can sink a bit further towards the back. So we don't want to put too much pressure onto the knee. So we're not just bending the knee forward, we're really sinking back with the hip. And if you feel like it today, maybe we start to lean forward, trying to reach the ground here, or trying to even reach our block. That might be another nice option. Keep breathing into the right hip. Awesome, strong left leg. One more big breath. And then we press into the left foot. If we're in the fold, we're going to come slowly back up. Bring the hands back in front of the heart. A little Zen moment. And release the leg down. Reach the fingertips up. Give them a little wiggle. Relax the fingertips. Give the hips a shake. And from here, one more full body stretch. Inhale, fingertips up, gaze can come up. Exhale, bend your knees forward for a big bend here. And we're gonna bring a bit of space in between the feet. We're gonna find our way down into Malasana. So find a bit of space here in between the feet, and then start to wiggle your buttocks down. So if that's not happening for you today, you can stay a bit further up here, maybe like in a forward fold, just with the feet a bit turned out to the side. Or you can always put a blanket underneath the heels here if the heels don't reach the ground. Otherwise, turn the toes out, bring the fingertips in front of the heart, slightly press the elbows into the legs, lengthen through the spine, tuck the tailbone under. Enjoy this yogi squat, this awesome opening here for the groin, for the hips. You can close your eyes and feel this grounding through your feet. So this is such an earthy grounding posture. Keep breathing into your belly. And then maybe blink the eyes back open. We're just gonna walk the fingertips forward. Come into a kneeling posture. So untuck the toes here if that's okay. Otherwise you can always pop a blanket between buttocks and heels. And because we were working so much on the hips, which often is a release for our emotions, we can also sometimes get some tension in the neck, because it's easier sometimes for the body to just transfer tension from one point to the other. So often when we stretch the hamstrings or the hips, we get a little bit of tension in the neck, because that's another spot where we hold emotional tension as well. So that's why we're going to do a last little stretch here for the neck. So relax the shoulders down and then just bring the left ear over to the left shoulder. Relax the right shoulder down, and you can bring the right fingertips a bit further out to the side if you want to go a bit deeper into shoulder stretch as well. Or you can also come into a bind, so bring the thumb down and maybe grabbing the left arm here with the right hand. Make sure to relax both shoulders down. Soften through the face. Maybe give the jaw a wiggle. One more big breath here. And then release. You can use your left hand to bring the head back up. And right ear over to the right shoulder. Once again, maybe leave the hands where they are. Maybe bring the left fingertips out to the side. Or bring the thumb down, coming into our bind on this side. So that really gives the front of the shoulder a nice little stretch as well. Both shoulders move down and away. You can give your jaw a wiggle, or maybe even open the jaw, getting rid of any tension there. Breathing into the left side of the neck. And to release, we just let go of the bind, bring the head back up. Draw a couple of circuits here with the shoulders up towards the ears, and then back and down. And maybe a couple of circuits with the nose as well. Into one direction and then into the other. From here, coming back into cross-legged seat. So bring the legs out to the side. Coming back into cross-leg. Once again, we can use our block or blanket underneath here. And bring the palms back in front of the heart. Taking a moment here to reflect on whatever intention we might have set in the beginning. And always the option to take our intentions from the yoga mat into the real life, or we can always leave them on the yoga mat once we finished our practice. So from here, feel free to maybe move into a meditation, or if you feel a bit exhausted, move into Shavasana, or you can move into whatever other wiggles you feel like doing. So I'm just gonna bring my palms towards my third eye center and just thanking you for joining me here today for this practice, for our hip stretch. I hope you feel a little bit better, a bit released, and I hope you've got the most beautiful rest of the day ahead of you. Namaste. So thank you so much. So if you like this video, maybe have a look at a couple of my other videos, or leave me a comment below, or maybe recommend me to your friends or even your enemies. Everyone should do yoga. The world would be so much better. Have a great day.